Jack Harper stood on the bridge of the UES Voyager, his eyes fixed on the holographic projection of an immense alien ship. "Hold fire," commanded the stern voice of Threx, leader of the Alien Council. Jack's pulse quickened. Humanity's future was on the line. Jack turned to his second-in-command, Lieutenant Sarah Briggs, whose expression mirrored his own concern. "Sarah, open a secure channel to Earth Command. We need directives, fast." Sarah's hands moved swiftly over the console. "Channel is open, Commander." Admiral Mitchell's face appeared on the screen, his voice steady. "Commander Harper, what's the situation?" Jack took a deep breath. "We've received an ultimatum from the Alien Council. They want us to halt our technological progress, claiming we're a threat to galactic peace." Mitchell's eyes narrowed. "Understood. We'll send Zarek to assist you. He has the most knowledge about the Council." Jack raised an eyebrow. "The defector?" "Yes, he's our best chance at understanding their true intentions. Hold your position and keep communication lines open." As the call ended, Jack sensed a presence behind him. He turned to find Zarek, the enigmatic alien who had defected from the Council. "Commander Harper," Zarek began, "the Council perceives your advancements as destabilizing." "Why now?" Jack demanded. "We've been advancing for decades. Your latest breakthrough in faster-than-light travel has them on edge," Zarek explained. "They fear you might disrupt the current balance." Jack's jaw tightened. "So what do we do?" Zarek's eyes, glowing with an intense light, met Jack's. "Negotiate. But first, understand the true nature of their fears." The holographic image of Threx flickered as Jack addressed the Council leader. "Council Leader Threx, humanity seeks only to explore and coexist peacefully." Threx's expression was unreadable. "Your actions suggest otherwise. Your rapid advancements pose a potential threat." Before Jack could respond, Zarek stepped forward. "Council Leader, I believe humanity deserves a chance to prove their intentions." Threx eyed Zarek warily. "You are a traitor to your kind, Zarek. Why should we trust your words?" "Because I've seen their potential for good," Zarek replied calmly. The room fell silent, tension thick in the air. Jack felt the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. "We propose a joint initiative. Let us work together to ensure peace and prosperity for all." Threx's eyes narrowed. "Very well. We will consider your proposal. But any further aggression will not be tolerated." Later that evening, as the crew gathered in the strategy room, Jack outlined their next steps. "We need to show them that we're serious about cooperation." "Any ideas?" Sarah spoke up. "We could propose a technology exchange. Offer to share some of our advancements in return for their trust." Zarek nodded. "That could work, but be prepared for resistance. There are factions within the Council that will oppose any alliance with humanity." Jack sighed. "We need to uncover who our allies and enemies are within the Council." "Zarek, can you help us with that?" "Of course," Zarek replied. "But it will be dangerous. The factions are deeply divided, and any misstep could lead to conflict." Jack nodded. "Understood. We need to tread carefully. Let's prepare for our next meeting with the Council." As the crew dispersed, Jack lingered in the strategy room, staring at the holographic map of the galaxy. The stakes were higher than ever, and the path forward was fraught with uncertainty. Suddenly, an alarm blared. Sarah's voice came over the intercom. "Commander, we've detected unauthorized access in the restricted section." Jack's heart raced. "Zarek, with me. Sarah, secure the bridge." They raced through the corridors, reaching the restricted section just in time to see a shadowy figure disappear into a side passage. "Whoever it is, they're trying to sabotage our efforts," Zarek whispered. Jack nodded grimly. "Let's find out who they are and what they're planning." They followed the figure into a darkened chamber, where Varric, a known antagonist within the Council, was meeting with a group of conspirators. "We must act now," Varric hissed. "Humanity cannot be trusted." Jack's blood ran cold. "We need to stop this. Now." With a deep breath, he stepped forward, confronting Varric. Your plot ends here. Varric's eyes blazed with anger. You are fools if you think you can stop us. A fierce battle ensued, with Jack and Zarek fighting to subdue Varric and his allies. Amidst the chaos, Zarek managed to disable the chamber's communication systems, preventing Varric from calling for reinforcements. As the dust settled, Varric lay restrained on the floor, his face twisted in rage. This isn't over, he spat. Jack knelt beside him. For now it is. We will expose your treachery to the council. Back in the council chamber, Threx listened as Jack and Zarek presented the evidence against Varric. The council members murmured in shock and disbelief. Threx's voice was firm. Varric's actions are inexcusable. He will be held accountable. Jack felt a glimmer of hope. Thank you, council leader. We will continue to work towards peace. Threx nodded. Very well. But know this, Commander Harper, the path ahead will be challenging. The UES Voyager docked at the bustling neutral space station, a nexus of interstellar diplomacy. Jack Harper, Lieutenant Sarah Briggs, and Zarek disembarked, surrounded by a contingent of security personnel. The station, a labyrinth of corridors and chambers, hummed with the activity of countless species, each one representing a unique culture and interest. Jack led his team through the crowded corridors, keeping a vigilant eye on their surroundings. Stay sharp, he instructed. We're entering uncharted territory here. Sarah nodded, her expression serious. We need to be ready for anything. Zarek, walking slightly ahead, turned to them. The council chamber is just ahead. Remember, many here are wary of humanity's rapid progress. Jack gave a curt nod. Understood. They arrived at an ornate door guarded by two imposing alien sentinels. Zarek spoke in a language Jack couldn't understand, and the guards stepped aside, allowing them to enter the grand chamber of the alien council. Threx, the council leader, sat at the head of a long table, flanked by other council members. His gaze was as cold as ever. Commander Harper, we welcome you to our station. Jack inclined his head. Council leader Threx, we appreciate this opportunity to discuss our future relations. Threx's eyes narrowed. Your recent technological advancements have caused great concern. We must determine whether your intentions are peaceful or not. Jack took a deep breath. Humanity seeks to explore and collaborate, not to conquer. We propose a mutual exchange of knowledge and resources to foster trust and cooperation. The chamber fell silent as Threx considered Jack's proposal. The alien leader's expression was inscrutable. We will take your proposal into consideration. However, there are factions within the council who may not be as open to negotiation. Before Jack could respond, the doors burst open, and Commander Varric stormed in with a group of followers. This is a waste of time, Varric snarled. Humanity cannot be trusted. Jack felt a surge of tension as Varric's eyes locked onto his. Council leader Threx, Varric's hostility is precisely why we need to build bridges, not walls. Varric scoffed. Bridges? Your kind will only use them to invade and destroy. Zarek stepped forward, his voice calm. Commander Varric, humanity deserves a chance to prove their intentions. Violence will only breed more conflict. Varric's eyes blazed with anger. You speak as a traitor, Zarek. Your words hold no weight here. Threx raised a hand, silencing the room. Enough. We are here to negotiate, not to accuse. Varric, if you cannot contribute constructively, I suggest you leave. Varric glared at Threx but held his tongue. He stormed out, his followers trailing behind. The atmosphere remained charged, but Threx's authority held the council together. Commander Harper, continue. Jack took a steadying breath. We propose a technology exchange program to demonstrate our commitment to peace. We're willing to share our advancements in energy production and medical sciences. A murmur spread through the council members. Threx's eyes softened slightly. Your willingness to share is noted. We will deliberate on your proposal and give you our decision soon. Later, in their quarters, Jack, Sarah, and Zarek discussed their next move. Varric is a significant threat, Sarah said. We need to keep an eye on him. Zarek nodded. Agreed. He has many supporters who share his mistrust of humanity. We must be vigilant. Jack leaned back, deep in thought. We need more allies within the council. Zarek, can you identify potential supporters? I can, Zarek replied. But it will require delicate maneuvering. The council is divided, and any wrong move could jeopardize our position. Jack stood and paced the room. Then we proceed carefully. We can't afford to make any mistakes. The following day, Jack and his team returned to the council chamber for another round of discussions. This time, the atmosphere was slightly more relaxed. Threx began the session. We have considered your proposal. While there is still much skepticism, we believe a pilot program could be beneficial. Jack felt a glimmer of hope. Thank you, Council Leader Threx. We will do everything in our power to ensure its success. The discussions continued, focusing on the logistics of the exchange program. Varric's absence was noted, but his influence lingered. As the session drew to a close, Threx made an announcement. We will proceed with the pilot program. However, any sign of aggression from humanity, and the program will be terminated immediately. Jack nodded. We understand, and we accept your terms. As they exited the chamber, a sudden commotion caught their attention. Varric and his followers were gathered in a side corridor, their voices raised in anger. This is unacceptable, Varric shouted. We cannot allow humanity to infiltrate our society. Jack stepped forward, his voice firm. Commander Varric, humanity seeks only to cooperate. Why do you fear us so much? Varric's eyes narrowed. Because your kind has always been a threat. You bring destruction wherever you go. Before Jack could respond, Varric drew a weapon. In a swift move, Sarah tackled him, disarming him before he could react. The corridor erupted into chaos as security forces restrained Varric and his followers. Threx arrived, his face a mask of anger. Varric, you have gone too far. You are hereby removed from the council pending a full investigation. Varric struggled against his captors. This isn't over, human, he spat at Jack. The neutral space station hummed with activity as representatives from various species engaged in their daily routines. Jack Harper, Lieutenant Sarah Briggs, and Zarek moved through the station's corridors, each step echoing with the weight of their mission. The pilot program had been approved, but Varric's recent actions indicated that their troubles were far from over. Jack paused at a junction, glancing at Zarek. We need to gather more intelligence on Varric's supporters. Any leads? Zarek nodded. There are whispers of secret meetings in the lower levels of the station. We should investigate. Sarah scanned the surroundings, ever vigilant. Lead the way, Zarek. They descended into the dimly lit lower levels, where the station's atmosphere felt distinctly more tense. The corridors were narrower, and the hum of machinery was more pronounced. Zarek led them to a secluded chamber, his alien senses alert to any signs of danger. Jack whispered, Everyone stay close. We don't know what we're walking into. As they approached the chamber, they heard hushed voices. Peering through a small viewport, they saw Varric speaking to a group of his loyalists. We must act swiftly, Varric was saying. The Council's decision to engage with humanity is a mistake we cannot afford. Jack's jaw tightened. We need to stop this before it escalates. Zarek placed a hand on Jack's shoulder. We need evidence. If we act without proof, it could backfire. Sarah nodded in agreement. Let's record this and present it to the Council. Jack pulled out a recording device and captured Varric's incriminating speech. As they listened, Varric outlined a plan to sabotage the pilot program, aiming to frame humanity for the resulting chaos. Jack's heart sank as he realized the extent of the threat they were facing. Back in their quarters, Jack, Sarah, and Zarek reviewed the recording. This is enough to expose Varric's treachery, Jack said, his voice determined. Sarah frowned. But it also means he'll become even more dangerous once he knows we're onto him. Zarek nodded. We need to act strategically. Present this to Threx and ensure Varric is neutralized before he can execute his plan. Jack agreed. Let's go. We need to stop this before it's too late. They made their way to the council chamber, the recording device securely in hand. Threx was in the midst of a meeting when they arrived. "Council Leader Threx, we have urgent information," Jack announced. Threx looked up, curiosity and concern mingling in his gaze. "What is it, Commander Harper?" Jack played the recording, the damning evidence filling the chamber. The council members listened intently, their expressions growing increasingly alarmed. When the recording ended, Threx's face was grim. Threx summoned Varric to the chamber. Varric's actions endangered not only humanity, his expression, but the stability of the entire station. And anger. "What is the meaning of this?" Threx played the recording again, and Varric's face contorted with rage. "This is a setup. You cannot trust these humans." Jack stepped forward. "The evidence speaks for itself, Varric. Your plot has been exposed." The council members murmured amongst themselves, clearly disturbed by Varric's betrayal. Threx's voice cut through the noise. "Varric, you are hereby stripped of your position and placed under arrest pending a full investigation." Varric lunged at Jack, but Sarah intercepted him, skillfully restraining him. "You'll pay for this, human." Varric spat as he was dragged away. Threx turned to Jack, his expression grave. "Your actions today have averted a potential disaster. We will proceed with the pilot program, but we must remain vigilant." Jack nodded. "Thank you, Council Leader. We will continue to work towards peace and cooperation." Later, as they regrouped in their quarters, the weight of their accomplishment began to sink in. Sarah sighed with relief. "We did it. We stopped Varric." Zarek nodded. "But the road ahead is still fraught with challenges. We must remain cautious." Jack agreed. "We've made progress, but we can't let our guard down. Varric may be in custody, but his influence could still reach far." The neutral space station had become a hive of activity as preparations for the pilot program commenced. Jack Harper, Lieutenant Sarah Briggs, and Zarek worked tirelessly to ensure the success of their mission. The revelation of Varric's plot had shifted the balance of power, but the threat of sabotage still loomed large. Jack and his team were in a conference room, finalizing the details of the technology exchange with the council members. "We need to ensure that the energy and medical advancements are thoroughly documented and secure," Jack emphasized. "Any breach could jeopardize everything." Sarah nodded, her eyes scanning the plans. "I've implemented additional security protocols. Only authorized personnel will have access." Zarek added, "We must also remain vigilant for any signs of dissent. Varric's followers may still attempt to undermine our efforts." Jack agreed. "We need all hands on deck. Let's get this done." As the team worked, the station's communication system crackled to life. "Commander Harper, this is Threx. We have detected unusual activity in the lower levels. You should investigate immediately." Jack exchanged a glance with Sarah and Zarek. "Let's move. We can't afford any disruptions." They navigated the corridors, their footsteps echoing as they approached the lower levels. The hum of machinery grew louder, and the lighting dimmed, casting long shadows. Jack's instincts were on high alert. They reached a storage area and found a group of Varric's loyalists tampering with the station's power grid. Jack signaled to his team to spread out and surround them. "Stop what you're doing," he commanded. The saboteurs turned, eyes wide with surprise. One of them, a tall alien with a scar across his face, sneered. "You can't stop us, human. Varric's vision will prevail." Sarah moved swiftly, disarming one of the saboteurs. "We've already stopped Varric. It's over." A skirmish ensued, with Jack and his team quickly gaining the upper hand. Zarek used his knowledge of the station systems to disable the tampering devices. Within moments, the saboteurs were restrained. Jack activated his communicator. "Threx, we've apprehended Varric's followers. The threat is neutralized." Threx's voice came through with a note of relief. "Well done, Commander. Bring them to the council chamber. They will face justice." Back in the council chamber, Threx and the other council members listened as Jack detailed the sabotage attempt. The restrained loyalists stood in silence, their defeat evident. Threx addressed the council. "These actions are a clear violation of our principles. They will be held accountable for their crimes. Jack stepped forward. Council leader Threx, with Varric's plot exposed and his followers apprehended, we can proceed with the pilot program without further delay. Threx nodded. Agreed. We will move forward with the technology exchange. This marks a new chapter of cooperation. With the saboteurs detained and the Council's approval, the pilot program officially launched. The energy and medical technologies were distributed among the Council's representatives, each one carefully explaining the benefits and potential applications. The atmosphere in the station shifted from one of suspicion to cautious optimism. Jack and his team oversaw the distribution, ensuring everything went smoothly. As the day drew to a close, they gathered in their quarters, reflecting on the day's events. Sarah leaned back in her chair, a rare smile on her face. We did it. Despite all the obstacles, we made it happen. Zarek nodded. The pilot program is a significant step towards building trust. But we must remain vigilant. Trust is fragile. Jack agreed, his expression serious. We've made progress, but the journey is far from over. We need to continue fostering these relationships and proving our intentions. Later that evening, Jack found himself on the observation deck, gazing out at the stars. The station's lights glowed softly, casting a serene ambience. He was joined by Threx, who stood silently beside him for a moment. Commander Harper, Threx began, your actions have proven your commitment to peace. The Council has decided to extend the pilot program and explore further collaboration with humanity. Jack turned to Threx, gratitude evident in his eyes. Thank you, Council Leader. We will not let you down. Threx's expression softened. I believe you, Commander. Together we can achieve great things.